lights of wealth often cast shadows few dare to confront. Behind empires, mansions, and promises of stability lie stories of manipulation, betrayal, and unrestrained greed. This video is a descent into those shadows, where the most dangerous. Scams in history didn't just deceive victims, but reshape the world itself. The 1920s. One name, Charles Ponzi. He promised returns of 50% in just 45 days. Thousands believed him. But what few knew was that he was using money from new investors to pay off the old ones, an unsustainable game that would become known as the infamous Ponzi scheme. The scam collapsed, leaving a trail of financial ruin and inspiring future fraudsters for generations. Shockingly, this model is still used today, rebranded through cryptocurrencies, flashy investment platforms, and miracle apps. The 2000s, United States. A man named Bernard Madoff, one of the most respected figures on Wall Street, admired and trusted. For decades, he orchestrated the largest pyramid scheme in history. Over $65 billion vanished. Families lost everything. Institutions crumbled. The financial world was never the same again. The Madoff scandal exposed systemic failures in audits, regulatory oversight, and the silent complicity within the financial sector. Brazil, 2010s. Telex-free rose promising easy money through multi-level marketing. Thousands invested. People sold cars, homes, and dreams. What seemed like a digital revolution was in fact a billion-dollar fraud. The collapse devastated thousands of families, especially those from low-income backgrounds. Similar schemes like Bomb and D9 Club followed, exploiting a financially vulnerable population. The lack of digital regulation opened doors to predators in disguise. Italy, 1970s, Banco Ambrosiano. Its president, Roberto Calvi, known as God's banker due to his Vatican ties, was found hanged under a London bridge. Before his death, billions had disappeared. Corruption, mafia, religion, a web of secrecy and power is unsolved. Death remains a grim reminder of how dirty money can reach even the most sacred altars. Nigeria, 1990s, the email scam era. Promises of inheritances, hidden fortunes, and foreign princes. It sounds absurd today, but it generated billions. Exploiting hope and naivety, this borderless crime evolved with technology, spawning new threats through deepfakes, bots, and social engineering. Entire cybercrime networks flourished from this model, now operating across messaging apps, social networks, and fake celebrity profiles. Enron, United States. The energy giant's 2001 collapse revealed stunning accounting fraud. Executives destroyed documents, lied to investors, and manipulated numbers. Over 20,000 jobs lost. Billions gone. A new regulatory era began, including the Sarbanes-Oxley Act. The case also exposed how toxic corporate culture, built on unreachable targets and massive bonuses, can lead to disaster. China, 2020s. Evergrande's collapse shook global markets. A real estate empire with trillions in debt, false promises, undelivered homes, and panicked investors. The ripple effects continue to haunt the global economy, exposing the fragility of unchecked speculation and opaque financial systems. Japan, 1990s. The economic bubble burst after a decade of irrational growth. Banks inflated credit. Real estate soared and consumption spiraled. When it all crashed, the nation entered a recession that lasted decades. Scams and fraud proliferated in the aftermath, leaving behind a deep distrust in financial institutions. Japan's lost decade became a cautionary tale for future economic models. India, 2018. Punjab National Bank revealed over $2 billion in losses caused by a single jeweler, Nirav Modi. With fake credit letters and internal collusion, he funneled billions without collateral. The scandal exposed deep flaws in the country's financial security. Modi fled, becoming a symbol of elite impunity. South Africa, 2021. Africrypt, a crypto platform, vanished with over $3 billion. The founders, two brothers, disappeared. Investors, from international firms to everyday users, were left in ruins. The case reignited debates over cryptocurrency security and the need for regulation in this uncharted financial frontier. Germany, 2020s. Wirecard, once a digital payment giant, faked profits and hid billions in debt. Over $2 billion went missing. The CEO fled. Executives were arrested. Germany was forced to overhaul its entire financial oversight system. It was a scandal that rocked the European Union's confidence in fintech. Russia, 1990s. The Soviet Union's collapse gave rise to the oligarchs. Rapid privatization, lack of oversight, and rampant corruption let state assets be snatched up by a few. Fraud, violence, and manipulation defined this era, an economic Wild West that still shapes Russia's power structure today. United Kingdom, 2022, a massive financial fraud linked to offshore shell companies and cryptocurrency exchanges was uncovered by investigative journalists. Billions in laundered money passed through London's financial district, implicating major institutions. The case shed light on how modern financial centers can become hubs for global crime under a veil of legitimacy. Malaysia, 2010s. The 1MDB scandal shook Southeast Asia. Billions meant for national development were siphoned off by corrupt politicians and financiers, funding luxury real estate, Hollywood productions, and yachts. The scandal implicated celebrities, bankers, and even heads of state, revealing how power and greed intertwine on a global scale. Canada, 2017. Quadriga CX, a cryptocurrency exchange, collapsed after its founder allegedly died, the only person with access to the platform's wallets. Over $190 million in customer funds were locked away. Investigations revealed suspicious activity and potential fraud, sparking global concern over the security of digital assets. France, 2008. Société Générale, one of Europe's largest banks, suffered a $4.9 billion loss due to rogue trading by Jérôme Kerviel. The trader acted beyond his limits, exploiting internal loopholes. The case highlighted the danger of unchecked ambition within powerful institutions and the consequences of regulatory blind spots. Australia, 2000s. The collapse of Storm Financial left thousands of retirees in financial despair. Promising safe and profitable investment strategies, the firm heavily leveraged its clients' assets, pushing them into high-risk schemes. When the markets turned, lives were destroyed. It was a devastating example of how financial advice, when abused, can ruin entire futures. United Arab Emirates, 2020s. A wave of high-profile investment scams emerged targeting international expatriates. With luxury real estate and business opportunities, many were drawn in by lavish promises and slick presentations. Billions were funneled through shell companies before vanishing, with victims struggling to seek justice in jurisdictions with weak enforcement. Each of these scams reveals more than financial crimes. They expose the fragile human condition in the face of easy wealth. And as long as greed exists, someone will always be ready to exploit it. All we can do is learn from these stories, recognize the signs, and never underestimate the power of illusion. Would you fall for it?